Hello, hello, everybody. We are live as live can be. There's my little puppy behind me. If you are watching the video of this, you can see that my background and my couch is gone. We have adopted a new kitten, and I'm like, if that kitten has to be in my room, in my office, in my yoga space, that couch back there gone. I don't want any accidents happening. So, with that said, all is going well in our world. We are, let me just try to get the mic. The default should be my microphone. Test, test, test. There we go. And we are good to go. Welcome to our Tuesday Live. We do this every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central. So there are a ton of new people inside of our group. You can see, if you happen to be watching the video of this, I have taught 2 power yoga classes, and then I've had back-to-back calls all day. So I am feeling very like post-workout, still in my yoga clothes that have dried since then, and kind of, one of those days where you just got to like buckle up and get your job done. And that's what we're here to do today. With a funny background and wild hair and zero makeup. So welcome. Welcome. And this is how we roll, my friends. This is how we get shit done. I really think so. I think when we show up, no matter what, that's the trick. And so you might be going, what does any of this have to do with self-sabotage? Well, self-sabotage is a real thing. And a lot of us struggle maybe, or let me start over. Maybe we don't struggle so much with certain areas of our life. Maybe we love our job and we're good at showing up, and we're going to show up at work. We're going to make that happen, right? Maybe some of us are great in relationships, and we show up and we're, you know what I mean? We're not, we put the time and energy and effort to like make deposits into that relationship bank account, make deposits into that career bank account, right? Like to do things that take good care of ourselves, right? But for a lot of us, the place where we struggle, at least if you're in my world, it is with food and a relationship with food, and especially self-sabotaging just our health and our body in ways that that feel like self-sabotage, right? When we finally get to a place where we know that we want to feel better in our body. We want to eat more nourishing foods. We want to take better care of ourselves in a meaningful way, not just for on the food front, but just on the overall healthy habits front, what it means to be a human with a body, and how do I care for this whole human self in a meaningful way. And that can be painful a little bit. Now, before I get going, what I want to make sure everybody knows, and I have not been doing a very good job sharing that, but if you are new inside of our Hello Body Freedom Facebook group, you know that we are 3 days away, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3.5 days away from our free challenge that starts this coming Friday, May 5th. So if you are catching this and you have not registered yet, you go right here to hellobodyfreedom.com/5-day path. And this is your jam. This is where to go. This is how to make it roll, party people. So we're going to go over in a giant way self-sabotage. In fact, we spend 2 entire days on self-sabotage. I want you to know that, okay? So what we're going to talk about today is how we do it, right? And like so we can start to understand, oh, that's self-sabotage, right? And then ultimately, so we can start to really lay the foundation of how to stop that. And again, we will go into major depth inside of the Path to Food and Body Freedom Challenge, which is only a few days away. So I thought that I would do this kind of like as a bonus pre-training for the challenge, because I know so many of you have been reaching out to me this week and last week. I mean, I have been nonstop on the phone, nonstop in Facebook Messenger, and it's been so amazing. And I keep asking you guys the question. And in fact, for those of you who are here, in the comments, answer like, what is your number one problem? Like the number one problem you want solved. Is number 1 weight loss? So if it's weight loss, you write in number 1. Number 2, write in number 2 if it's emotional eating and ending emotional eating. And number 3, if it's just self-sabotaging behaviors, like that you're sabotaging yourself when it comes to your body, your health, food, and all that other good stuff. So what would you say? 1, 2, or 3? Go ahead, and if you are here live, you can put that in the comments. If you're watching the replay, #replay and let me know. And then put that in there. You can see, if you're watching the video, my cat, that's my giant cat. He doesn't look that giant back there, but he's like a 20-pound cat. He's like scary to a lot of people. But he's just making a debut in the background, just decided to hang out with us today. Okay, welcome to Cat World. So let me know in the comments. I would love to know 1, 2, or 3, because what keeps coming back is some combination of these 3. But so many people are like, well, when it all boils down, it's just self-sabotage. When it all boils down, I want something for myself, but I do something else. I want to eat healthy, but I can't seem to stop the sugar. I want to move my body, but I can't seem to get off the couch, right? I say I'm going to do something, but I just don't do it. That is the biggie, my friends. That is the biggie. So, with that said, what I want to do is just dive into the very first thing that we can do that you don't even maybe know in terms of self-sabotaging. I want to really dig into some trickery here. The very first one that I want to talk about today is just the evil of dieting and going on a diet. So I just got off of a call with a brand new client. I'm so excited to be working with her, and she talked about precision nutrition. And I know precision nutrition because I have a degree in exercise physiology. I studied nutrition in school. And as I was doing like boatloads of personal training and I had my fitness company, Precision Nutrition is this great program. And you go through this, dun, da, 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 da. She said she did an entire year challenge. And all you do is work on the habits of precision nutrition, precision nutrition. And that's great. Good for you. How did that end up panning out? That was my question to her. And it worked. She felt great. It's the best she's felt in so long. But did it really work when 6 months later, 3 months later, something dysregulates our nervous system? And the next thing we know, we are back to square one with our old habits that we used to have. Right. So, a lot of the problem here is that we keep reaching for a solution. And the solution that we reach for is I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to follow this food plan, whatever you want to call it. Right. And then I'm going to hit the gym and exercise. And I'm not saying that these things are awful. I'm not sitting here saying that you should never exercise. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying is if you think that those are the solutions, what has been shown over and over again with anybody that goes on a major low calorie diet is that they end up gaining the weight back. 90 to 97% of people. So you might think it's self sabotage and it feels that way for sure. But research is like conclusive. If you are going to go on a weight loss diet, you are 90 to 97% like guaranteed to gain that weight back. It is physiology. It is psychology. It is how the human body is designed. You are not designed to drastically decrease the food that you're eating. You are not designed to cut out entire freaking food groups out of your diet. It's insane. And that's what dieting does. Dieting literally sets you up to overeat. It sets you up to binge eat. The massive undereating leads to overeating every single time, or at least 90 to 97% of the time. I'm telling you, if you want to like roll the dice for your bet that you're in the top 3%, but that's not going to happen, I just don't think that's the truth. I've been in this world for 25 years. I've been working at this level this is my career, and I see it over and over and over again. And finally, when people come to me, it's because they're finally like, that shit hasn't been working. I'm kind of ready for a different answer and a different solution. And just like the client who I'm super excited to start working with, she's so cool. Oh, I love my clients. They're so badass. She just she knows, she gets it, right? Precision nutrition, super fun. That's great. But that doesn't do anything to help me actually heal these deeper reasons why I'm struggling. So that's the very first thing. If you decide to go on a diet, good luck thinking that you're not going to self-sabotage because you're gonna. All right, done with that. Be finished with that. Okay. Other ways that we self-sabotage. Let's go into the playing it safe. So what do I mean by playing it safe? So I mean playing it safe isn't the right word, but it's literally where it's a real gentle voice inside of you. You're like, but the couch is so comfortable, right? Oh, but it's just so like easy. Like, do we really, you know what? Can't we just go for a walk tomorrow? Like, do we really have to do this right now? And the answer is no, you don't have to do it right now. But the truth of the matter is that if you continually do that and you don't get off the couch, and if you had the goal of saying, I'm going to go for a walk every night, That's self-sabotage, right? So self-sabotage is really, really sneaky. Like it is just, it shows up in ways when we think that like we have it, right? And it's very unconscious. So what about just resistance? How many times have you found something that seems like the answer and the solution? And now all of a sudden you have resistance coming up inside of you and you're like, oh my God, I don't, no, 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 nope. And then you find something else. You know, another one, here's number 3, resistance is one, dieting is number 1, playing it safe. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. Resistance, right? Resistance, not even showing up to do the thing, right? Or what about this one, number 4, busying yourself. All of a sudden, you have all of these goals. You know that this is right. You know this thing that you want to do, and the next thing you know, you're too busy to do anything. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I'm so busy, 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 busy. Busy is a way of self-sabotaging. Okay. That part of you that what we talked about keeping you safe, like sitting on the couch, like, oh, don't go for that workout. When you don't show up, when you keep not even trying and you don't show up, the cool thing is that you can't get it wrong. You can't fail if you don't try. So you're literally trying to keep yourself safe from failure, right? That is another example of how self-sabotage shows up, right? The same on that same idea is perpetually quitting. So you start something and then stop something, and then not finishing what you start is a way to keep you safe. You don't have to fail. You don't have to get it wrong, right? Do you see how all this kind of like gels together? So this is a big deal because I mean, when you're showing up as your higher self, when you're showing up as your true self, the part inside of you that has the vision for the life that you want to live, the way you want to feel. It's not about, oh, I envision myself 20 pounds lighter. Maybe weight loss is a part of the gig, but really it's about what do I feel like in my body? How am I using this body, as a paintbrush to go paint the life I want to live? To live a life filled with vibrancy and love and connection and people and places and things and all the things that fill your heart. And that's really, really, really hard to do if we aren't taking good care of this vessel, right? And to take care of it is self-care. To take care of it is well, I probably need to move my body because bodies are meant to move. Well, I probably should put nourishing food in my body because that makes me feel good, right? I should probably connect to my body. Am I even hungry? Wait, I'm not even hungry. Well, why am I eating 8 pounds of sugar when I'm not even hungry? Right? Like self-care is learning enough to know that if I start my day off with a sugar bomb, oh, I might emotionally eat for the whole rest of the day. Like is the self-sabotage the emotional eating? No, that's called a blood sugar dysregulated, like insulin roller coaster that you're on all day long, carb loading on the other side of that, because we started with a self-sabotaging thing, right? And so I want you to really hear the definition of self-sabotage is the act of undermining your goals and dreams with unhelpful actions. The act of undermining your goals and dreams with unhelpful actions. Okay. And so these unhelpful actions can be very sneaky and very unconscious. All right. Going on a diet seems like a good answer, but until you know the truth of what dieting actually does to your body, you think you're self-sabotaging, but really that's just physiology. You're like, oh, I self-sabotage because I went on this diet, I lost the weight, then I gained it back. Yeah, of course you did. That's what diets do. We've got to learn how to get into that space of, if weight loss is a part of your journey, a sustainable journey that includes healthy habits and nourishing and self-care so that your ideal size starts to come in a way that is sustainable, right? Yeah. And then we have to look at keeping yourself safe. That's number 2, which we talked about, not even showing up. So that way you don't even have to try. That'll definitely keep you safe. Perpetually quitting so you don't finish anything. And again, that keeps you safe for sure. And resistance, like when you finally see something in front of you that is the path, and now the resistance comes in. All of a sudden, there's a million excuses of why you can't do it, right? And one of those big excuses, busy, just busy. Life is busy. I don't know what to say. Busy, 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 busy. But I don't want you to be busy for your life anymore. I want you to step up to the plate And I want you to feel into how awesome this is for you to literally start to let self-sabotage go. And I think that the number one way that you are going to do that is to go to hellobodyfreedom.com/5-day path. The 5-day path is going to hand you an entire framework. It is the Hello Body Freedom Framework. It is nothing that your personal trainer is giving you. It is nothing that the nutritionist is giving you. We are going into understanding these deeper pieces, these self-sabotaging pieces, right? These unhelpful actions that are basically working in opposition of what we really want when we are stepping into our true self, right? And when we work at that level, when we can understand and work at that level, it is life-changing. It's life-changing because sabotage just starts to fall off. It's really powerful. Yeah. And so head over to hellobodyfreedom.com/5-day path. This is the path to food and body freedom challenge. It is 5 days. We start on Friday, May 5th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's US Central, Chicago, Dallas time. If you're in the UK, that's probably 6 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, that's 10 a.m., right? Let's get our times right and set that alarm. And I'm going to walk you through a framework that will change your life. You will be able to understand why the fitness plan hasn't worked. You will be able to understand why eating clean hasn't worked. And you will start to realize what it actually takes from not just a thought process and not just a mindset process. We're not going to mindset our way into weight loss, right? It requires a bit more than just thinking ourselves through it, right? But it is a mind-body connection and healing that happens. And when we are willing and able to go a little deeper to do this healing, I don't know, man, life just starts to get sweet. I spent 30 years of my life using food to fix my feelings. 30 years. And then because I hadn't put the pieces of the puzzle together, I had to figure out how to put the goddamn pieces of the puzzle together. It took me a good 5 to 6 years of really studying, going to the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, studying embodiment, studying trauma resolution, really putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And that's what I've done. That's what Hello Body Freedom is. So I'm so glad that you're here. Give me a big shout out in the comments. Like, yes, I'm doing this challenge. Yes, I will set my alarm. Yes, this is happening. This challenge is free. This is my way of giving back. This is my way of helping you to really plant the seeds to get you moving into feeling those levels of freedom with your body that I know you want, that you deserve, that all of us deserve. All of us deserve to not feel so totally obsessed around food, where we feel normal relationship with food, where we actually have a level of reverence and respect for this body that is ours, this body that is meant to be a vessel on this planet to go out into the world and do amazing things. Right? It's not to be something that's objectified and right. But the more that we self-care for our body, the more energy we give and the more energy we get, and the better we feel. And as we heal our relationship with food, and it just becomes a normal, beautiful relationship with food, where we learn how to say yes to food and no to food, both and, in a beautiful balance that is in connection to knowing yourself, having that level of trust, like, I got me. And that is the power of what is waiting for you with that 5-day path to food and body freedom. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you guys for coming in. It's so good to see everybody here. And if you have not signed up, right there. And if you need help or you have questions, drop me a DM. I am inside of Facebook DMs like all day long. So knock that out of the park, my friends. And I will see you next week for the next every single Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central, for our Tuesday Live. See you then. Bye, everybody.